you smell it? The fine aroma of a soon-to-be Buckeye victory and Rothman searing his brats. Intoxicating. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid.
Live from FanFest, here's Tim May, Dave Biddle, and Anthony Rothman.
All right, outstanding to have you back. Beautiful night for football. I'm Anthony Rothman with my boys, Dave Biddle and Tim May. We are ready. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. We appreciate the Buckeye fans joining us tonight. We got a final tune-up or final test before the Big Ten. That is the question that's on the table, boys. Knee-jerk reaction on that, Bids. Tune-up or test?
More of a test. I mean, UCLA will be the tune-up. UCLA looks like they might be the worst team in the country. Listen, this Ohio team, I think Ohio State's talent and depth will eventually overwhelm them, but they're the defending MAC champs. They have a really good quarterback, a veteran quarterback in Parker Navarro. They're well coached. A lot of guys that grew up in Ohio dreaming of playing for Ohio State, as Ryan Day said, Tim May, like they're going to come in here with their hair on fire. I do think Ohio State will overwhelm them eventually, but I would say more of a test than a tune-up.
Definitely a test the way this Ohio U defense kind of shut down West Virginia after a couple of drives last week was pretty impressive. So since Texas, of course, there's only been one game in between, right? But there will be turnstiles to deal with today for the Ohio State offense, where last week it was pretty much straight sailing to your gate. So what'll be interesting to watch. And then defensively, Parker Navarro, I mean, excellent quarterback, makes things happen with his arm in his feet. But boy, does he put the ball up for grabs a few times a game. And Caleb Downs and company are looking forward to that. But what a playmaker he is if he hangs on to the football.
It says a lot about Ohio University. He threw 3 interceptions last week,
yes,
and they still won. Largest attendance ever at Peden Stadium. And that's the thing, like this Ohio University team, like I give Parker Navarro a lot of credit. After he had his breakout year last year as a fourth-year junior, I'm like, oh, he'll enter the transfer portal.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit for staying in Athens. But
amen.
We'll see what happens today. I don't think this is going to be a good day for him, Anthony.
Yeah, the guy was an understudy to Dylan Gabriel, for a couple of years at UCF, and then they both went their next ways.
They're both in Ohio now.
Dylan Gabriel to Oklahoma. That's exactly right. I was going to get there. Boy, you're beating me. Biddle in the middle, man. He keeps beating me to the punch on my points. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel went to Oklahoma and then Oregon, and then now he's with the Cleveland Browns, and of course Parker Navarro is with the Ohio Bobcats.
You always wonder whether a team like Ohio is going to come in here and just swing for the fences.
Why
or
not?
They believe. Well, what I mean by that is whether they're going to be careful or just throw caution to the wind. There's a balance, of course, to all these games. But they did shut down West Virginia. I don't know how big that really is. The win is big, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But they did give up 34 to Rutgers. So my point is, if you give up 34 to Rutgers, theoretically, you're going to give up at least that much or more against Ohio State, especially in here tonight. So hanging with them. The strategy to hang with Ohio State is twofold. It's whether you can get off the field on defense and whether you can control the clock a little bit. Or if you're Brian Smith, you just don't want to give up the big play. And not giving up the big play against this offense is going to be difficult for them. But, yeah, I don't think – I'm glad you talked about Parker Navarro because he is the headline. And with his experience, the one thing maybe you can count on is not that he won't make mistakes, is that he won't be truly fazed and intimidated by a night game in the shoe. Now, we'll see. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I just think his age and experience and the athleticism he brings to the table, that at least he is ready for whatever he could see tonight, possibly.
Yeah, they had the best season in Ohio University history last year, unless you count 1960. Remember the small school national champions when they were 10-0. I didn't know that was a thing, but they, won for the first time. They won the MAC championship game. They had been MAC champions before they had an actual championship game. Yeah, and they listen. This is a well-coached team. They bring back their quarterback, but it is still a first-year head coach, and they did lose a decent amount from last year. So again, man, I'll be surprised. If Ohio doesn't hang with them for a while, and I'll be surprised if Ohio State doesn't overwhelm them after a while.
Absolutely. I mean, when I look it up, when I size up the rosters, when I size up the starting lineups, Ohio State, just like last week, has an advantage across the board. I mean, personnel to personnel. So that's what you look for. Number two, will Parker Navarro hang on to the ball? Will he not throw it to the other team? That gives him a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance to a certain extent. I do not, we don't make the picks till the end of the show, right? So But the bottom line is, I expect it to be. The question was, is it going to be more competitive than it was a week ago? Absolutely. And you talk about a tune-up. We'll see if UCLA late in the season is a tune-up when Ohio State needs it the most. But the bottom line is, right now, this is a good stepping stone game into an off week before you go and play in one of the toughest places in college football, which is Husky Stadium in Washington.
I could imagine a better setup when you're going to Ann Arbor than to play like this terrible UCLA team at home the week before that.
There's a long way between now and then,
I get confused, man. At Purdue, and who else do they play in that stretch there? It's another really bad team. So that is the perfect setup for Ohio State right there.
Last week, it wasn't about how they handled success because they were playing Grambling. They show up, they were going to win the game. How they were going to win it was the question, and they could do anything they wanted to last week.
But how much?
And there were no consequences to it. You could, Julian Sain was getting protection for days. This offensive line hasn't given up a sack this year. They want, if they can keep that Cal Ripken streak going, that would be incredible. So they want to do that. But they were able to bring all sorts of blitz pressure, and even if they didn't get home, you knew they weren't going to pay for it. So that's the dynamic tonight, is how much does Matt Patricia throw at Parker Navarro, and how much does he just want to say, hey, you're beating us with your arm. We're going to contain you. We're not going to let you break free. We're not going to let you scramble on third downs. Because when they were blitzing and not getting home against Grambling, it didn't matter.
And that's the thing about Parker Navarro. He's a very good quarterback. I've watched him a lot. If you would, I'm sure he'd be the first one to say this. He's a better runner than he is a passer, more effective.
Yes.
I don't think Ohio State's going to sell out Jim Knowles style. They'll mix things up. Patricia's great at doing that. He might blitz a lot early and then not blitz for a while. Looks like he's going to blitz, back off. I love how much he's mixing things up. But, yeah, I think with Parker Navarro.
That was the Caleb pick last week.
Exactly.
The disguised blitz. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think overall, to answer your question, I think they're going to not play conservatively, but they're not going to go all out Parker Navarro.
Yeah, actually on Caleb Downs' play, they blitzed a linebacker through that hole, but Caleb Downs didn't fill the gap on the zone defense right there and just stood right there and let the guy throw it to him, which was the best kind of interception you could have. Parker Navarro is maybe a fairly well-means man,
well-heeled
version of Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard. But the thing is, Ohio State had to figure out Riley Leonard in those first couple of possessions in the national championship game because he was elusive as a runner, not just a runner. He was an elusive little runner. But when you figured some things out, then you kind of took control. Riley, Parker Navarro is going to sort of invite getting hit hard tonight, but we'll see if Ohio State can actually bring the wood.
That was the thing. I'm sure you were saying the same thing. I was in the press box saying to one of my colleagues, I was just like, okay, Notre Dame just went on a really long drive. I think the quarterback ran it I want to say 9 times. It might be too many. Does this feel like
it was a lot?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
9
times. And I said, okay, that's not sustainable against this defense. And then the next thing was the press box announcer was like, Riley Leonard is throwing up on the sideline. He was vomiting on the sideline. It's like, that's not sustainable. Running your quarterback 9 times against this defense. You might get an early touchdown. You're going to get your quarterback killed.
It might give you hope.
As hell,
it might give you hope at the beginning is the main thing. And Ohio U's chance, if that's the correct term, is to keep the ball away from Ohio State tonight. The old classic, not four-corner offense, but keep the ball away from Ohio State. And they're pretty good at that against West Virginia last week. I think they had the ball 38, 40 minutes, and West Virginia had it 20. So that's a pretty good day.
Any way you slice it, they're still more than a 4-touchdown underdog. It's cliche city when it comes to the Bobcats for me. It's if they're going to hang in the game at all and make it interesting by half, they can't give up the home run ball. Not a lot of penalties. Certainly can't turn it over a lot. They have to play as clean as possible, and they got to move the chains a little bit. They have to control a little bit of the clock. It's the only way you really can stay in this game. But I do like his ability to maybe make something out of nothing and extend a drive that probably doesn't deserve to be extended. So that's what he brings to the table.
Yes, sir. He's a really good college quarterback, Parker Navarro. Again, I give him a lot of credit for sticking at OU. I know he'd already transferred once, as you mentioned, Tim, but I give him a lot of credit because I'm sure he could have went to the highest bidder. But he stayed in Athens, and he loves his time there. He is a really good quarterback, and this will be a good test for Ohio State's defense.
I'm just trying to think, what would be cliche city, like Terre Haute, Indiana? What would
Indiana.
Be Peoria, Illinois?
There's like a song, Gary, Indiana.
Gary's on tough times.
Again.
Gary's on tough times. I think Terre Haute's kind of a cliche kind of city.
Yeah. How about what about Saginaw, Michigan? Speaking of songs.
If you're in the news a lot, you're not a cliche city.
Yeah.
We were driving up to the Upper Peninsula. My wife was like, "Yeah, my mom used to listen to this song called Saginaw, Michigan all the time, and I hated it." She's like, "So I want to listen to it." I'm like, "You just said you hated the song. Why are we going to listen to it?"
Tim, that was the Bay City Rollers, I think.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Listening to in that area.
Jeez.
Bay City Rollers.
All right, we got a kickoff forecast. 79 degrees tonight at 7 o'clock. It'll be 70 probably by the time you get out of there, the end of the fourth quarter. So it should be a beautiful night for football. We'll come back with the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, set the scene for you. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
Traffic is getting a little bit heavier around the stadium area. Right now, 315 north and southbound are still moving well, but you will start to see backups on those off-ramps to Lane Avenue. Ackerman Road also just a little bit. On the side streets, Lane Avenue is a pretty busy one right now between High Street and Kenny Road. Olentangy River Road a little more crowded between Lane and Kinnear. And a reminder, Woody Hayes Drive is closed between Tuttle Park and Cannon Drive. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on the Fan.
Toyota has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through September 30th, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne. And Jacoby Bourne. When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
At Kemba Financial Credit Union, we care about you. Consumers like you say they don't want monthly fees for checking, and we listen. Introducing hassle-free checking with no monthly service fee. Use it as an easy place to deposit and transfer your money, along with your everyday banking needs. Plus, Kemba's expansive digital banking services make it easy for you to bank how you want. At Kemba, we're always thinking of ways to put you and your finances first. Visit Kemba.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Restrictions apply.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Bishop and Friends.
My wife views her Venmo as a Swiss bank account. She uses it to hide transactions from me routinely.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Here's a stat that hurts. The average adult waits up to 2 years before getting help for joint or back pain. 2 years of sitting out. 2 years of missing the game. At Ortho Neuro, you don't have to wait. Our orthopedic and spine experts treat every joint issue, often without surgery, and we've got next-day appointments ready. Don't sit on the sidelines another day. Schedule your consult now at orthoneuro.com. Ortho Neuro, for every motion in life.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. The sausages are sizzling. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show. Proud to be the flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. It's time for the Big Daddy Report with the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Now together to serve you better. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
All right, back on campus. Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, Tim May, and the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, ready for a night game at the Shoe against an in-state opponent.
Fourth straight year, at least, they've had a home night game with a MAC opponent.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
It's not the game that everybody wanted as a night game. Let's put it that way.
It means Peacock needs an audience.
That's right. And they'll get one. Maybe for a half, maybe more. We'll see.
Yeah.
But you do like to keep the money in state, Paul, so that's good. But these have always gone Ohio State's way. We've had a few over the years where they could get a little squirrely, years back with Josh Harrison, Bowling Green, or you had way back in 2002, down at Paul Brown against Cincy. Or, there's always that in-state opponent that maybe pushes them a little bit. What are you sensing tonight?
Well, remember, 1999, this game was tied at the half, 10-10.
Yeah.
The interesting part about this is, Ohio's coming off a huge win. In a game they probably should have won by more than they did. They were able to survive 3 interceptions by their quarterback in the second half. A team that's coming in with confidence, coming off not only a great year last year, but they've been trending upward for quite a while. This is going to provide, obviously, more resistance to Ohio State than what last week did. Not what they got from Texas, but it's going to be an opportunity for the Buckeyes to try and generate more momentum, see if they can't get things to continue to click offensively and really continue to play at the level they have defensively.
This true freshman class, Paul, looks very impressive so far. Devin Sanchez is playing the most. I think we all expected that. But you look at Bo Jackson, Riley Pettijohn, Jarquez Carter, and others. This freshman class, nobody has to play a huge role, but they have to add quality depth, and they are.
They are. And, Dave, that was one of the things that, especially in the defensive line, going into this year, because of the 4 starters that were lost, the guys that are starters now provided key backup reps. Same with the linebacker spot, because remember, you had not only Sonny Styles, you had Cody Simon, and then there was Arvell Reese to fit in. So the people you just mentioned are filling those roles now that other guys did, and now getting significant reps that hopefully with a long season will pay off.
Hey, do you think 40 years from now there will be people going, hey, you remember watching Bo Jackson run the ball? And they'll be referring to this one?
You mean like we were 40 years ago previously? Yeah.
But he did hit the ground running last week, just like we saw in the spring, like we saw in the spring game and stuff. That was quite impressive. He and Riley Pettijohn. Riley Pettijohn got in there and got named the defensive player of the game because, man, you couldn't deny the impact he had on the game.
No question. And, I think when you see now that, Tim, that's one of the things that has been the benefit of guys that have come in the spring. They've left high school early and come in and got that going, been able to take advantage of that, and then be here all summer. But what Bo Jackson seemingly in one game, one sample, has given them maybe what could be the home run threat that we saw from Travion Henderson in the past.
I give Parker Navarro a lot of credit for sticking around. I know he had already transferred once.
Question.
He had a really good year last year. They win the MAC championship, so everybody knew it. He could have went to the highest bidder. I gave him a lot of credit for sticking in Athens.
And the other part of that, Dave, too, is they've got a couple of other guys starting with their starting running back, Bangura, who are at Ohio University, left and came back. So there must be something in the water in Athens that is really drawing these people back. But I think that also speaks to not only what Brian Smith has done, but what Tim Albin had done previous to that.
Yeah, and then push comes to shove, they've got Court Street. He maybe has a favorite
Halloween. That might be what's in the water.
What goes on down there during that?
I don't know. My daughter's a freshman down there, so let's not talk too much about it. I've been down there too much. I know what goes on down there.
It is kind of cool, though, because the MAC every year has a couple of 3 quality teams in it. I think you agree with that, don't you, Paul?
No question.
When you look around, Toledo goes down and clobbers Mississippi State last year, and everybody's talking about don't get me started on the SEC. But it is interesting how they're able to build programs, competitive programs, in the the armpit of the Big Ten.
Well, I think what you've seen is, and those of us that are from Ohio have seen it for years, but the MAC is so competitive within itself.
Yes.
When you think about different stages where Bowling Green has been at a high level, Toledo has had their moments where they've been at a high level. At various times, Central Michigan, way back in the 80s, when they had Gary Hogeboom and people like that, they were playing at a very high level. So, the MAC has always had good players. I think the MAC's always had great coaches. That's why you've seen them cherry-picked them. But, also where Ohio and other schools have benefited from the transfer portal, you get guys. Now think about Sam Wiglus, who was here a few years ago. He goes down to OU and has a nice career. So it's provided a landing spot for guys at Power 4 programs that don't get a lot of chance to play.
Paul, last week was about creating the depth, getting that lead, building that lead, and getting the guys in. We talked about Mylan Graham, Isaiah West, Bo Jackson, those guys. Riley Pettijohn, as we mentioned, had a great game. Anybody open enough eyes last week to push anybody this week?
That's interesting, Anthony. You wonder about Bo Jackson. Does he maybe get a little quicker look after guys that they have like Donaldson and James Peoples? The tight end group is going to be interesting. We know it's deep. Jelani Thurman has been one of those guys that's been talked about for a few years. We've seen him flash. Does he get a little more of an opportunity now to do some things? And you wonder, too, now, and you talked about Devin Sanchez. It was expected he would probably play more, but does it change what they're going to do defensively with linebackers? Depending on what opponent, it may not be this week, but do we see something with 3 linebackers and that thrusts Pettijohn back into more play?
Yeah, I think what it does is it makes a coach less reluctant to put a guy in there for another shot. And then it goes from there. Now it's up to the player and stuff. But you're exactly right about Pettijohn. He was on the beam, man. And, you got like Peyton Pierce, too. I mean, their backup linebacker situation is choice, in my opinion. And like we're all waiting on James Peoples to kind of get off the schneid. And he's got to be feeling a little heat from Bo Jackson.
Well, and Tim, I think what some of that's done with the people we've talked about, it's going to push the guys that are the starters and the number ones to stay sharp because they've got to be concerned if they don't stay at a certain high level, there's guys behind them that are sniffing for more playing time.
You always get that look as sharp as possible before the bye week. Coaches try to put that in their heads maybe a little bit. You don't want to be left with 2 weeks, to be sitting on a semi-clunker or anything like that. So, but what we saw with Grambling, I know they were overmatched. They probably show up and win by that number anyway, but they've been clean, Paul. They really have. They're not allowing any sacks, turnovers to a minimum outside of Sayan's throw to that pylon for the left hash, but they've been very clean this year so far.
They have. And, Anthony, I think what that does is it now gives the coaches game reps to evaluate and coach the players on as opposed to what they see in practice. How it affects going into bye, you never really know, especially now in a year where you have 2 byes. But you kind of like the fact that they've got the bye before their first Big Ten game, before their one West Coast trip, to just kind of further evaluate where they are with certain things that us lay people can't even think about.
Paul, obviously Ryan Day has bigger fish to fry than punt returner, but he mentioned this week, he's like, we got to be better at this. And it looks like Bryson Rogers could bring a spark there, but he says we're not going to give up on Brandon Ennis yet. What are you seeing there?
That's going to be interesting to watch, Dave. And, we saw the Texas game where Jeremiah Smith snuck out there for 1. We had to do a double take to make sure we were looking at the right number 4 out there. But, it will be interesting to see what they do on the line of scrimmage getting push to force the punt. So, I can't see them making a major change at that point. But when you get games like last week where you get other guys an opportunity, and the most important part is catching the football. OU had a situation last week where they had a guy that caught a punt inside the 5 and started to drive early in the game. So making the right decisions when to catch, when not to catch.
Yeah, exactly. And you heard Ryan say you'd like to see maybe the pass punt catcher be a little more aggressive going for the ball. But, the punt catcher is at the whims and the mercy of how the ball is punted, as you just pointed out. And sometimes you just don't get that clean fungo hit to you in the outfield when you're trying to catch a fly ball. So that'll be interesting to watch. I wanted to ask you one other quickie. Offensive line to date, obviously they dominated last week, had a really good day against Texas for the most part in terms of keeping Chewy and Sayan clean. Do you like the direction that group is going?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of that spills from late last season with what guys did. Give it Luke Montgomery. He's given an opportunity, and all of a sudden he takes advantage of it.
Leader now.
You see what Austin Sareveld has done. Carson Hinton being back in a comfortable position. So, and they have depth there, and that's the one area, Tim, that always coaches are taught. We need more depth on the offensive line. They've got it now.
Yeah.
going up against a decent secondary tonight, but a smaller secondary perhaps. So the way Carnell Tate's catching anything thrown his way, and certainly Jeremiah, that'll be a big test for the Bobcats tonight.
You know, it's been interesting to watch Tate make some of those grabs. We saw what he did in the Northwestern game last year, but these TD catches he's made, they've been tough, physical catches with defenders right on him. So, Anthony, what I'm really more interested to see is how does what he does provide opportunity for Jeremiah Smith? How does it translate to the tight ends? And how does what the tight ends are doing open up for those two guys?
No doubt. All right. Looking forward to it.
Pleasure as always, guys.
Thank you. That is the voice
Paul.
of the Buckeyes,
Right,
Paul
we'll
Keels. His segment sponsored by the Waterworks, heating, cooling, and plumbing, now together to serve you better. When we come back, He's So Money. Who will shine in the shoe? We'll talk about it. It's the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
315 north and southbound are pretty popular spots right now, and we'll continue to see volumes build as we get closer to kickoff. Right now, they're moving with moderate volumes and some slowdowns as you get to the off-ramps for Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road particularly. Olentangy River Road is seeing some brake lights between Lane Avenue and Kinnear Road. Kenny Road between Kinnear and Lane also busy, and Lane Avenue is pretty slow between High Street and 315. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Now through September 30th, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details. Or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Hey Buckeye fans, it's Jeff Hogan, and I've got to say thank you. The way Central Ohio has welcomed me back has been amazing. I'm so excited to be back with the team here at 10 TV. These folks are the real deal, and together we're here to bring you more of the stories that really matter to you and your family. Whether it's breaking news, weather that impacts your day, or just honest conversations, we're here for it all. I'll see you weeknights on 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. And again, it's really good to be back.
Your 10 TV team is stronger than ever. Jeff Hogan, Yolanda Harris, Station Knockin', Jerry Martz. 4 trusted names with a deep connection to Central Ohio. Together, they bring you more heart, more credibility, and more of the stories that matter to you. From breaking news to weather that impacts your day, to real conversations shaping your community. This is your news, your team. Watch weeknights on 10 TV and streaming anytime on 10 TV Plus.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Come visit the all-new Capital Ford of Columbus today. Home of the 99-cent down car deal. Visit capitalfordofcolumbus.com or call 614-861-7150. That's capitalfordofcolumbus.com or 614-861-7150. 99 cents, $399, $0 down, RCL on 25 My Escape. 10,500 miles per year available for well-qualified buyers. Excludes tax, title, licensing, and documentary service charges. Offer good while dealer supply lasts.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. And if you're gearing up for the big game, don't forget the MVP of desserts, Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. This legendary treat just made its way to Ohio. Finally! We're talking rich devil's food cake, buttery cream bumps, and a fudge icing that is just unfair. They'd throw a flag on it if it was actually on the field. Bring one to your next tailgate, watch party, or even a team celebration, and you'll be the real hero. Available now at Kroger and Meijer, Sanders Bumpy Cake. It's game day greatness.
Still on a high from the win last week? Come to campus on game day and enjoy live music, food, and fun at the 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV tailgate at the O Patio and Pub on Lane. The party starts at 9 and continues on throughout the game. See why over 10,000 people came to party with us last week. Be at the O-On Lane this Saturday. Proudly sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Coors Light, Behind the O app, and Jameson Whiskey. It's the Closet Systems Kickoff Sale at Design Solutions by Cooper. They design and manufacture customizable storage built to fit your lifestyle and space. From closets to any space in your home, our systems are made to maximize organization. Simplify the morning rush. Stay organized during back-to-school season and add value to your home with expert craftsmanship. Schedule a virtual design consultation or find a dealer near you at designsolutionsbycooper.com. Hurry, this is a limited time offer and your dream closet is just a few clicks away at designsolutionsbycooper.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. We are now in the second slate of games. We are now just a few hours away from the OU and Ohio State matchup. OU obviously beat West Virginia last week. They're coming in with a little bit of momentum. Ohio State ranked number 1 in the country. 7 o'clock kickoff. But right now, it started at 3:30. It's number 6 Georgia at number 15 Tennessee. That is a 7-7 tie. Tennessee has not won a game in this annual series since 2016. Looking to do so for the first time in a while there. And just a little bit at 4:30, number 18 South Florida will be at number 5 Miami. South Florida won their game in Gainesville last week. Can Lightning strike twice? And we got some Big Ten games going on underway. Penn State has a 7-0 lead on Villanova. Rutgers has a 6-0 lead on Norfolk State.
You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show, getting you ready for the Buckeye game. Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. He's so money.
Sponsored by Kemba Financial Credit Union.
All right, back at it. A slight little band of green, perhaps.
Not a band, man. There's like a mass moving this way.
Can always break up before it gets to us, right?
It looks like the forerunner of a big wave coming maybe later in the evening.
We're protected here.
Yeah, I know.
This looks safe.
I thought you were talking about the one in like the 5 o'clock hour, right? I didn't know you were talking about later tonight.
I was talking about the 5 o'clock, yeah. The one that's coming through here. And they said it wasn't going to rain, so now it looks like we might get a little 10-minute shower. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have Scotty Vegas on later. We'll be able to bet on it. So
there you go. I love that we can bet on the weather.
Yeah.
You can't do prop bets anymore in Ohio, but you can bet on the weather.
Just so we don't get God's sparks, which would stop the game. I'm all for anything.
I think we'll be good for the game for sure. The game is expected to be, well, you tell me. It's a 28.5-point spread.
It's come down to a considerable amount.
Come down 5 points from what I remember at the beginning.
So
that's
money
interesting.
going on those
I remember thinking, you would cover to thinking now Ohio State will barely cover.
I'm saving those for questions for Scotty Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
This is listen, we don't want to call this a breakout game because I assume that these guys have already broken out to some degree. I guess we're waiting for the Max Clare effect to take full effect. And maybe that could happen tonight.
It was interesting that Ryan Day said, he was asked, is the speed of practice taking Max Clare by surprise? Just the speed of around him. And he was like, yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't say this. He was like, yeah, he was at Purdue, and now he's at Ohio State. So it's completely different. But it is interesting. I mean, it's not just that he's, not the main weapon. Everyone around him is faster. Everybody on defense is faster in practice, and it's taken him a little bit of time to adjust. And listen, I think if they needed Max Clare to go out there and catch 10 balls tonight and be the man, he would get that done.
He would be more at home doing that.
Right, but what are you going to do? Go to Max Clare, not J.J. Smith, not Carnell Tate?
He's coming from a place where the tight end was the featured receiver, and and I'm not knocking him. I think he's played pretty well, But you ask Ryan a question, he usually gives you an answer of some sort, and but clearly there's a little bit more added to the tight end menu here in terms of blocking responsibility. If you don't, you're out of the game, type things, and I think that's more what he's talking about more than anything else. Is just assuming that role of an Ohio State tight end.
And maybe there'll be a little more room for him to play tonight. We'll see.
Yeah.
Did mention the receivers earlier. They're obviously the biggest weapons perhaps in the country, and Tank Pearson is 5'9". I'm looking at some stats here. That's one of the corners for the OU secondary. Michael Mack is in there as well. But
it's like my guy Jay Book. My guy Jonah Booker was a defensive back for Ohio University. I think he rocked it at about 5'9".
That's a challenge against these guys.
They're keeping the tradition. My guy's worlds are colliding. He loves Ohio State, and he loves his alma mater, and he played football for the Bobcats. Worlds are colliding like George Costanza.
They've got to get pressure on Julian Sayin. I know they have nice defensive stats, especially coming off that West Virginia game, but the mismatches are there. They're obvious to everybody, including the Ohio U coaches. So I'm more interested in what they kind of scheme up in terms of trying to rattle Julian Sayin and still contain the running attack. That will be the focal point going into the game.
And can Julian keep this confidence going? Like, he doesn't need to take a step back. He doesn't need to do anything like crazy tonight, but like if he can continue being this pinpoint passer, cool as a cucumber, that's exactly what Ohio State needs going into the bye week. Washington is not going to be an easy game. Going at Washington, Husky Stadium's a tough place to play. I really like their young quarterback. A lot of people are saying, Wisconsin's going to be the next toughest game. Like, no. No. Washington will be a tougher game than Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. But, just get Julian Sayin's confidence continuing to mount. That's important tonight.
And then on top of that, I'm wrecking my brain because I think Julian Sayin the first two games has been as cool, calm, and collected as any first-year starting quarterback I've ever covered at Ohio State. Am I wrong about that?
No, even CJ looked a little rattled his extra freshman. CJ Stroud.
Yeah, he kind of got his act together in the second half of that game, but no, he was rattled.
I agree with you 100%.
Just name a guy. Justin Fields looked uncomfortable. Dwayne looked a little uncomfortable to a certain extent. That's who he most reminds me of, though. And but his accuracy is just kind of off the charts. It's kind of like having a AAA pitching phenom who you bring up to the bigs and you say just throw strikes, and he's throwing strikes. And I'm marveling at it right now because I really think they're onto something here. He literally could be almost perfect throwing the football right now, except for one throwaway that he had against Texas, and then a pass that was on the money, but he didn't see the defender.
and four drops against Texas.
Exactly. That's what including that.
Yeah.
So that's how close he is to being almost perfect.
I think there's certainly a lot to like.
Throwing the ball.
A lot to like. And
will he
clearly went to the right guy when they were splitting hairs, even though Lincoln certainly showed what he could do last week.
Right.
But the way this guy throws the football, I think what we're all anticipating is it will continue tonight. And the other part is, how good will he be under pressure? Because a young quarterback, when it comes to decision-making, this offensive line has given him such great time to throw the football.
But he had pressure. There was pressure there occasionally against Texas. Texas had some moments defensively, and he coolly handled it. So that's the thing. He's kind of a mix in a lot of respects. I never like to equate quarterbacks because they're always different, from a physical standpoint or whatever else. But he has a little bit of that Roethlisberger in him and be able to make a little step or two and create another 2 seconds for himself.
He needs to.
As opposed to just taking off.
Based on the fact that he isn't 6'5", but he's tall enough.
But he's 6'1". He's more than
Joe
tall
Germain
enough.
in him. He reminds me of a better version. And Joe Germain was a very, very good quarterback here, but he reminds me of a better version of Joe Germain. And probably can be more mobile. Joe was tough as heck. Remember that Florida State game?
Joe took a lot of
hits. He
hits.
was just getting smoked. His face was bloody. He just kept staying in there. Joe was a really good quarterback. I think Julian is a step above that.
Joe Germain's dad came down out of the stands in that Sugar Bowl and wanted to beat up somebody on the Ohio State offensive line who will go unnamed, but was basically playing, bullfighter with Andre Wadsworth.
Ole.
Yeah, Ole. But the bottom line is, right now, we'll see if it keeps going. To me, he has the demeanor of a guy that's not going to suddenly go off into the Netherlands somewhere mentally or psychologically. He's a cool about him. California cool about him that's obvious.
Yeah, his poise has been the most impressive thing, dare I say, because his accuracy is next level. The poise as a redshirt freshman.
I've told you 1,000 times, poise counts.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you. You finally got through to me.
Brown eyes. You should be wearing a green dress. That makes sense.
Come on, man.
He does have poise.
Come on, man.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's one of those guys, but until we get him into all situations, but he has answered every test and looked
looked good last week, too, was Lincoln Keynotes.
Great as a champion. Good for him.
That should never be confused with what Missouri threw at Lincoln Keynotes in his last major moment. in time, extended time. Missouri, that was the worst, as I've said many times, I'll say again, the worst display by an Ohio State offensive line I've ever covered at Ohio State. And Lincoln Keno's at least escaped alive from that game. But I thought last week he was pinpoint. On point is the best way of putting it, running the offense too. So that was valuable time for him, no matter against whom it came.
Had a great game. Julian Sains certainly has been the money man so far for Ohio State. He's So Money, sponsored by Kemba Financial Credit Union. When we come back, we'll check in on those big guys on the offensive line who have not given up a sack yet this year. We'll talk to Jim Lache, a guy who knows all about that. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
Over about the last 15 minutes, I've seen volumes really pick up on northbound 315. It's very busy from the King Medical Center exit to Lane Avenue. Once you're off the highway on Lane Avenue particularly, it's very heavy from 315 to High Street. Also in that stretch, there are a lot more pedestrians out and about, so keep your eyes open for that. Olentangy River Road has increased volume from Lane to King, and Ackerman has had some traffic volume pick up between Kenny Road and 315. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on the Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne. And Jacoby Bourne. When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs. Taking out the trash.
Did you know that Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And we're conveniently located right by the airport. We take pride in treating every customer like family because that's what's kept us around for generations. Right now, drive home a new 2025 Subaru Outback for 1.9% for up to 72 months. Start your journey today at ColumbusSubaru.com. Byers Auto, driving the next generation of buyers.
Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 72 months on 2025 Subaru Outback. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/30/25.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans, Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Ravens in Baltimore.
Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick It One.
Your Central Ohio home of the Browns, the Fan.
Hi, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Coming up, more football talk on the Fan.
That's right, Bob. And just like our hometown team, Worthington Jewelers is all about tradition, family, and winning moments.
Celebrate your victories with us, your hometown jeweler, Worthington Jewelers.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here. 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV. No Ohio State fans simply can't get enough coverage of the reigning national champions.
So now there's even more of it on YouTube thanks to the Austin and Berm Show.
Get daily coverage with me, Austin Ward, and my buddy Jeremy Birmingham on The Beat, Snap Judgments, and the weekly live show at Roosters presented by Tansky Power Sports.
Just search on YouTube or anywhere you download podcasts for the Austin and Berm Show.
It's Ohio State football all day, every day.
We're back to football talk, but before we kick off, a quick thanks to Bob and the team at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Whether it's game day or every day, we're here to help you celebrate life's biggest moments.
Worthington Jewelers, your hometown jeweler.
What he said.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the big game tonight, we're falling into the 70s with a partly cloudy sky, and that partly cloudy sky sticks with us overnight as temperatures dip into the low 60s for Sunday morning. By the afternoon, plenty of sunshine will bring us into the upper 80s, and the upper 80s are expected again on Monday with a mostly sunny sky. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan. The only way to get ready for the game. 1, 2, 3. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. It's time to check in with Buckeye color analyst and president of the Large Hand Society, Jim Lache.
All right, welcome back on campus. He's the man, the former All-American, legendary Buckeye, Jim Lache, with us. Good to have you, Jimmy.
Great to be here again on game day. How about that, man? 3 in a row. Home games for the Ohio State.
You know, Ohio State only plays one home game in October. Isn't that crazy?
I know. And this is, you know, when you think about it, you got 5 of your last 9 are on the road. Yeah. So it's, you know, you started at home.
Whatever you get here, you pay for down the road.
Down the road. But it's nice to have pretty much the month of September here, you know, with the bye week coming up, and then heading out to Seattle, you know, the following week
and
to play the Huskies.
This is the year 5 road games in the Big Ten. That's why you end up paying for it on the back end.
Yep.
Beautiful night for football, though. Let's start with the defense against this quarterback. And a guy that likes to, you know, dance out of the pocket, live out of the pocket a little bit. What does assignment football look like for you tonight?
Well, either Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles would be, you know, a spy or spies, depending how they're going to have to do it. And then your defensive ends are going to have to make sure that they don't lose contain, kind of keep him bottled up. So I think, when you got a quarterback that can run like that, it does affect you defensively, how you call some stunts, how you call some blitzes. You know, you just don't want to vacate a whole side knowing that he can pull and run. So you got to be careful about that. And then, you know, certainly we've seen Caleb Downs line up all over, you know, so it might be part of his responsibility to stick his nose in the box a little bit more on those certain passing or running situations to know that, you know, he could be the guy that could take him out. And then, you know, the old adage, man, if you're going to run a quarterback, you got to make him pay for it. You know, you don't want to hurt the guy, but you want to make sure he feels you each time you tackle him because you want those hits to kind of accumulate on him a little bit. So that's, you know, whenever you have a coach that likes to run the quarterback, that's the bad part about it is that they're going to get hit and they're going to get tackled a lot. And, you know, if you want to expose your quarterback that way, then you have to pay the consequences. And I know some defensive coordinators, you know, start licking their chops when they know that they got a running quarterback so they can get after him a little bit.
Jim, what are your thoughts overall on this offensive line for the Buckeyes? And have you noticed any differences the way Tyler Bowen coaches this and his assistants as well, as opposed to how Justin Fry coached?
You know, I thought Justin did a fabulous job. Obviously, if you look at last year, all the things that they had to go through by, you know, turning guys from, you know, a guy like Donovan Jackson gets hurt, Seth McLaughlin gets hurt, you know, against the Indiana game. You had to kind of, you know, find a way to get your best 5 out there, and he was able to do that, so hats off to him. This year, I don't think there's much of a drop-off. If you look at what Tyler Bowen's doing, along with Charlie Dickey and Marcus Johnson, you know, he's got 3 qualified line coaches, counting Tyler, that, you know, can go out there and get these guys ready to play each and every week, and I thought he's done a good job. Not a whole lot different. You know, there's only so many techniques and things that you can do. It's just the attention to detail, I think, is a little bit higher, having, you know, 6 eyeballs on it instead of just maybe 2 or 4, what they had last year. So I think you see that. And then, you know, taking Saravel, moving him to tackle, you know, they did that in the spring, so there was an idea that he could play out there. But, you know, at that time, we're just cross-training. Right. but he found the spot there. And, having a guy like Carson Hintzman step up the end of last year, started, 2 years ago at center. He felt good at that position. Luke Montgomery, you felt good about. Tegra Shabola, he felt really good about him because he's got a lot of experience. And then he had to find the right tackle, and they were able to do that with Phillip Daniels. So all in all, good. It looks like some of those backups did a nice job last week. And, as of now, 0 sacks and only 2 tackle for losses. So, I think that's number 1 in the nation for the offensive line. Tied with about 10 or 11 other offensive lines, but so far so good. I like it.
I wonder if Austin Saraveld had a Jim Lache moment. Remember when you got drafted by the San Diego Chargers, first-round draft pick? I was at your apartment when that happened.
Right, over there at Old Tangy River Road.
Yeah, and then Mike Tomczak's party moved in right after,
exactly.
And that was a long night, but that's another story.
13th round when there's only 12.
Yeah,
video?
Exactly.
Do you have any video? No, kidding.
Hey, he's got a Super Bowl ring, baby.
He sure does. Year 1, he got one.
Yeah, but my point is, when they first broached the idea to you, I think it was after they picked you up at the airport, right? Was it Coryell or somebody said, hey, we're moving you to left tackle?
Yeah.
Because you were a guard extraordinaire at Ohio State.
I was shocked.
What did Austin Saraveld, do you think, have to prove that you had to learn and prove also in the National Football League about playing the left tackle?
Well, yeah, I remember when Coryell picked me up. You're at the airport there in San Diego. You got the bay, and he kind of grabs my thigh and goes, hey, tomorrow we get in the huddle. You're going to be my starting left tackle. And I'm like, golly, what are you talking about? To myself, I didn't say
they drafted the wrong guy.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, thanks, Coach. Thanks, being positive. I'm trying to figure out how do I tell him, We're going to Mission Valley, and we're going right by the famous San Diego Zoo there on 163. And I finally say, hey, Coach, I'm thinking to myself, how do I break this to him? I've never played left tackle before, And he kind of says, so I started thinking, well, you had to watch film, right? You don't draft him 12th overall in the first round if you don't watch a little film on him. So I'm, Coach, what film do you watch? Because, we watched the Illinois game, Keith Byers, set a rushing record. And then I'm like, yeah, you remember that? We watched the Michigan game. You had a really good game. Watched the Rose Bowl. We saw you pull around, knock a guy down, get up, run down the field. And Keith Byers had a big run there. He goes, but you didn't score. And I go, man, he knows exactly. And I said, Coach, you remember when I pulled? You remember where I pulled from? And you can see him kind of winding it back in his head. And he's like, yeah, you pulled from the left guard spot. I go, hey, Coach, exactly. I've never played left tackle before. And it got silent in the car, one of those pregnant pauses that sometimes you have. And I'm like, man, I should have just kept my mouth shut. I'm just thinking. All of a sudden he says, good, you'll have no bad habits, And that's kind of what Austin Saraveld. You'll have no bad habits. He goes, I got a coach that's going to coach you up, teach you exactly what you need to do. And, it's good that you've never played it before because we'll train you the right way. And that's the way Austin got it. If you've never really played that position before, and you start learning from a guy that knows how to coach it, it's not that hard of a transition.
Remember the Titans, left side, strong side.
Exactly.
There you go, baby.
He's made it. He's made that transition. So it is a little bit difficult. Now, what's harder is going from left tackle to when I got traded to the Redskins and playing right tackle because that's kind of everything when your left side is your inside arm is your right arm. Now when you're playing right tackle, your inside arm is your left arm. So it's kind of like learning how to write with your left hand again. And that was a little bit difficult. But fortunately for me, it only lasted 6 weeks. And Joe Jacoby and I switched spots, and I went back to left and he went to right. So we, it all works out. But, coach, you got to trust your coaches, understand what they want you to do, and then go out and do it. And, once you get some reps at it, you start to pick it up. And
Plus, you were an athlete, man. You ran a 100-yard dash in high school. Right on down the line. Your exploits are legendary.
Well, throwing the shot put was probably the best thing because that was kind of basically a pass dance. You know what I mean? Taking a set was and then having a strong inside arm, so that helped me. But, it was fun. I remember after we won the state championship in basketball here at St. John Arena, and coaches came to my high school the week later and says, hey, we like you as a football player. Do you love football? I go, yeah, I love football. I want to play football. I'm 15 years old at that time, and they said, hey, gave me his card. He goes, now, if you ever come to Columbus, you give me a call. So, end of May there, early June for the state track meet. He said, hey, Coach, I'm coming down. We got the state track meet. He goes, oh, what are you doing? Shot put? Yeah, I'm doing that. Anything else? I said, well, our 4x100 relay, made it. On the second leg. And he's like, what? So, and we made it the next 3 years, too, our 4x1. So, that was fun. Track was a great sport. You don't want to blame on that, right? You know, you got your football friends. you got your basketball friends, and then you got your track. It's just you, and like you said, if you're on a relay, you got 3 other guys. But it was always a lot of fun, and always special memories when I come to St. John Arena, thinking about that weekend in March.
Good story, man. That's outstanding. I love that. It was a great journey. Give us a quick sense tonight. Test or tune-up?
Well, I think a little bit of both. As we talked about earlier, they got a running quarterback, so I think that always puts the stress on the defense. They've had some injuries, the Bobcats, on their defensive side. We'll see who they end up putting out there. I know, especially at the linebacker position, maybe one of their defensive ends might be banged up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be down a few guys there. When you play them, you got to stop the run and get them in 3rd and longs. What they have been good is on 3rd down. I think they're 3 of 23, the opposition, against the Bobcat defense. So it's 13% they've allowed conversion rate, which is very good. And, obviously an offensive guy said, well, don't get in 3rd and long. Keep it 3rd and short. So you got to be good on 1st down. You got to be good on 2nd down. You got to convert. But still, they got a lot of, Ohio State's got a lot of different things that they can throw at you. And Brian Hartline's done a good job coordinating his first 2 games, and I think that'll continue. And, I think you'll see a little bit more tempo. That looked good last week against Grambling. Now it's a better defense, better athletes. But generally when you're playing, MAC school guys, the skill positions, there's a lot of good dudes everywhere. Quarterbacks, defensive backs, wide receivers, running backs. But it's on that offensive line, defensive line where there are some deficiencies. Because, you go to Ohio State, everybody's, 6'5", 6'6", 300+ pounds. That's not always the case when you go to a MAC school. So O-line, D-line, they got to, make sure that they control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball for the Buckeyes.
Well done, my man. Thanks for the visit.
Anytime. Thank you, guys.
Our friend Jim Lache. And, of course, breaking it down, this is the Kurgis & Associates Fan Tailgate Show. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid. Speaking of getting paid, where's the smart money? Scotty Vegas jumps on next, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
State Route 315 around the Ohio State University campus is definitely a busy spot right now. Northbound, you'll start to see brake lights around the King Medical Center exit, and that takes you all the way up to Ackerman Road. On the southbound side, crowded between Ackerman and Lane. Lane Avenue is very slow from Kenny to High Street. Kenny Road is slow between Lane and Kinnear, and Olentangy River Road has brake lights between King and Lane Avenue. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
When it comes to trucks, Toyota gives you the power of choice. Now through September 30th, get 1.75 APR financing or $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or you can lease a 25 Tundra SR Crewmax for $409 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Still on a high from the win last week? Come to campus on game day and enjoy live music, food, and fun at the 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV tailgate at the O Patio and Pub on Lane. The party starts at 9 and continues on throughout the game. See why over 10,000 people came to party with us last week. Be at the O on Lane this Saturday. Proudly sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Coors Light, Behind the O app, and Jameson Whiskey.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Kemba Financial Credit Union, we care about you. Consumers like you say they don't want monthly fees for checking, and we listen. Introducing hassle-free checking with no monthly service fee. Use it as an easy place to deposit and transfer your money, along with your everyday banking needs. Plus, Kemba's expansive digital banking services make it easy for you to bank how you want. At Kemba, we're always thinking of ways to put you and your finances first. Visit Kemba.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Restrictions apply.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Hey Buckeye fans, it's Jeff Hogan, and I've got to say thank you. The way Central Ohio has welcomed me back has been amazing. I'm so excited to be back with the team here at 10 TV. These folks are the real deal, and together we're here to bring you more of the stories that really matter to you and your family. Whether it's breaking news, weather that impacts your day, or just honest conversations, we're here for it all. I'll see you weeknights on 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. And again, it's really good to be back.
Your 10 TV team is stronger than ever. Jeff Hogan, Yolanda Harris, Stacia Knockin, Jerry Martz. 4 trusted names with a deep connection to Central Ohio. Together, they bring you more heart, more credibility, and more of the stories that matter to you. From breaking news to weather that impacts your day, to real conversation shaping your community. This is your news, your team. Watch weeknights on 10 TV and streaming anytime on 10 TV Plus.
This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartimas, now 2.5 hours away from Ohio State, welcoming in Ohio Bobcats from Athens. OU beat West Virginia in their last game. West Virginia now in a backyard brawl with Pitt. At 7:30, we got Texas A&M. They are 16th ranked in the country, going to South Bend to take on number 8 Notre Dame. Notre Dame was off last week, so this is only their second game of the season. Also at 7:30, Florida is taking on LSU in Baton Rouge. LSU ranked 3rd. But going on right now, number 6 Georgia. They have 7 points against number 15 Tennessee. They got 21. We are 5 drives into that game. We got 4 touchdowns. And starting off in Miami here soon, number 18 South Florida, and number 5 Miami.
The sausages are sizzling. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show. Proud to be the flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
All right, back at it. We are dry. It's feeling good. And we'll get to kickoff where it'll be awesome, 70 degrees by the 4th quarter. So good night for football. Good night to be betting on football. Our man with that plan, as always, is our handicapper to the stars, Scotty Vegas. Buckeyes 2-0 against the number so far this year. Will they make it a trifecta?
You know what's wild, Anthony, is it's actually 6 in a row now that Ohio State has covered. Obviously, last week, 55-point favorite against Grambling. And what happens? They go over and they get the 70 points. Here's the deal for me, guys, and I was starting to think about this with Buckeye lines, because when it came out, it initially came out as Ohio State a 33-point favorite. It's been bet down now to 28.5. But I started to think about, like, Ohio State as a huge favorite. The difference is if Ohio State gets up big, the backups that are coming into the game are still so significantly more talented than these other teams, right? So a lot of times you feel like, okay, these backups are coming in, and so you lose a little bit of the talent edge.
Backdoor cover.
But it's not with Ohio State. Like, we see the young kids get in last week, and Ohio State just keeps racking up the points. So you see that number at 28.5, and you're like, oh, Ohio State might put in the backups in the second half, but they're still probably going to cover with backups.
And if you're Ohio University and this is a little bit of a blowout, you're not going to keep Parker Navarro in there to get him banged up. You're trying to go win a MAC championship. Right. You want to try to win this game. Once this gets a little out of hand, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, Ohio's not going to keep all of their starters in there. It's a great point, Scotty.
Right, and the other thing last week, those backups got extended playing time. I mean, they're not like throwing somebody green off the bench who hadn't been in there for 5 years and has never seen the playing field. So that Lincoln Keno's, I mean, that was huge for him last week. I know it was against Grambling State, but it was huge for him to get his feet under him and feel confident. So you're exactly right.
And that's one thing I'm glad.
And we also know Ryan Day's not going to call off the dogs,
right?
Because he wants them to run the offense.
I also like that you brought up that Lincoln Kienholz is the backup quarterback, right? And that's so big when you got these big spreads of who is the quarterback that's coming into the game. And in the past, you had Devin Brown, where like you didn't really have a lot of faith in Devin Brown, right? And Lincoln Kienholz is a guy that you think that the Buckeyes are going to keep throwing and keep getting experience for. So I think the 28.5, I was a little bit surprised when it came out at 33. Like Dave and I on Sunday mornings, we always try to guess the spread for the game, and I said I said to be between 28 and 31, and it came out at 33, and that seemed high.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bought back down.
Let me ask you this, though. This is what I've been waiting to ask you. What is the over-under in this game?
It's 49.5.
49.5.
Yeah.
Has that changed much?
It's come down a smidge. Look, the Bobcats are weird, right? In week 1, they couldn't stop Rutgers at all, right? Rutgers was going up and down the field against OU. Then week 2 happens, and West Virginia couldn't score at all. So it's been weird because initially you're like, oh, gosh, everybody's going to march down the field on OU and their defense, and then they played well last week against West Virginia.
What I wanted to ask you, though, is what makes the spread go up and down more? Somebody betting on a team to win or somebody betting on a team to cover?
It's big bets coming in, right? That's what – if it's not injury information, if it's not a suspension, if it's not something like that, it's big money that comes in on the game. That's what moved the spread. Yeah.
And it has moved on, and I am a little surprised because I'm with you. If this team gave up 34 to Rutgers, theoretically, they're not giving up less against Ohio State.
Well, and Anthony, and you know this very well, that hook is so important, right? So right now it's sitting there at 28.5. If you're betting on Ohio State, buy that point down. Move it down to, in case Ohio State is up 35 in this game late, and OU scores a touchdown, and it ends up being a 28-point
All right,
game.
where do you stand on the in-state opponent? You paid for him to come up here to play the game, a lot of money.
Inspiration.
Do you have to kind of call off the dog, so to speak, at all? Just on an in-state, don't want to embarrass them kind of deal if it got that way?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, look, if Ohio State was going to call off the dogs, they would have called off the dogs last week. And the dogs just kept scoring, right? That's the thing. I mean, I don't think just because it's OU, and there's going to be a lot of Bobcats fans, like just standing here, we see a lot of green. I wanted to ask you guys this. If you could guess a percentage, I'm going to set the over-under at 15%. In that stadium tonight, what percentage do you think will be green?
I literally wrote down 85-15.
Oh my
by
gosh.
the way.
That's what I said.
I'll go barely under. I bet it'll be Ohio University will be well represented. I'll go barely under 15%.
I'm going 13% because that's 13,000 people. You know, based on 100,000.
Okay, Anthony.
But I know that my older son graduated from Ohio U. He's hosting a party at his house. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
They're all feeling good about, but they're not here and stuff. And so I never really base it on what I see out here. I'm thinking 13,000's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm thinking under. Yeah, here's the thing, and I've said this for a lot of years. A lot of these people were Buckeye fans before they were Bobcat fans.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's weird for me to see. I've talked to people even today who graduated from OU that are wearing Buckeye gear. And
Scotty's not wearing Buckeye gear, but he's the exact example of what you're talking about.
I'm staying neutral. Look,
you're staying neutral.
I went to OU.
I thought you go with the Laura Hawk split jersey.
And here, I went to OU, guys, and on football Saturdays, I would watch Ohio State football games. I would go to Peden Stadium when it wasn't the exact same time as an Ohio State game. I would. I went to OU Pitt when OU upset Pitt on an interception in overtime. I had so much fun. I rushed the field. I'm an OU Bobcat.
Yeah.
Every other time, I'm all in on OU. But to be honest with you, I was at OU watching OSU football.
My son Kyle, my older son, went to OU. 2008, he was down there, and they were going crazy on Court Street, whatever bar he was in, because OU was winning. And then reality hit, and they wait a minute. We don't want Ohio State to get beat. because they were in their heart Ohio State fans. And
they don't invest. See, the Bobcat fan that's a Buckeye, the Bobcat grad that's a Buckeye fan will not expend any emotion into thinking his team could beat Ohio State tonight. That's why they're able to stay neutral / Ohio State, because they have no idea that OU could pull it off.
Enjoy the show.
But I asked one of the guys who graduated at OU tonight, who's wearing a Buckeye shirt. I said, "What if, like, cosmically, the Earth stopped spinning and went the other way tonight, and somehow OU won the game? What are you going to do?" And he goes, "Well, I'd probably rush the field." I go, "Wearing that? That wouldn't make any sense."
No, but here's the difference. Okay, in this world of the 12-team playoff, let's say something, as you said, the world spins the other way and OU wins. The difference now is OSU could lose to OU.
Like Northern Illinois last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Dave. We saw Notre Dame lose to Northern Illinois and still make the playoffs. So if the world spun, so if it came down, let's say this went in overtime, right? And OU's like, I'm going for 2 and we're going for the win. And then you'd kind of be like, I would enjoy OU.
It's a Haley's Comet type of thing. It's not going to happen. But if you were a grad, you're a grad. And I would think that once in your lifetime, if you got to see that,
amazing,
there'd be some emotion.
Hey, I did want to ask you guys this, because this is wild. I've been following this Heisman Trophy thing.
Yeah.
So we had
this Heisman Trophy thing that they give out every year.
Yeah, the odds.
I know, I'm kidding.
So I've been following it today. You know, there's a score out there that's very interesting. Tennessee is up on Georgia.
Yeah.
21-14 now. Georgia scored a minute ago.
All of a sudden
There you
now.
go.
Oh, is it 21-14?
Yeah.
All right. All of a sudden now, the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy is Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
He is now the odds-on favorite as of this moment.
We're in a knee-jerk society. We're in a knee-jerk world.
That was a good trade by Tennessee, I think. Trading Nico for Aguilar.
And
Jeez.
how crappy is UCLA? I
Yeah.
mean, they are absolute trash.
Yeah. They're
Trash.
incompetent. They're
Pure
incompetent.
Trash. It's in L.A. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Deshaun Foster's not going to be in L.A.
Right there,
so
no,
longer.
Deshaun Foster made his second and final appearance at Big Ten Media Days this year.
Right there on Sunset Boulevard.
Hey, one other trend I got to throw at you guys, because I've been talking about it each week. You know, the betting public, they've been awful through 2 weeks. The top 5 most bet on games for week 1 was 0-5. For week 2 was 1-4. This week, the most bet on game was Oregon -28. Oregon did not cover the 28. So we are seeing, if you get the opportunity, bet against the public, because the public is getting killed.
Good luck going to Northwestern's temporary field and covering the spread. I mean, I don't care if you're Oregon or if you're the Bears.
And
Yeah,
exactly.
It just didn't feel right to them. Number one, they kicked off at 9 a.m. their time.
All right, so
and they're almost playing in a lake.
And if you're curious, the 5 most bet on teams this week, number 1 was Oregon at -28. They didn't cover. Number 2 is Georgia -4. They're down.
Dave and I both took Tennessee.
South Florida is 3rd at +17.5. I love Miami tonight. I love Miami tonight. Florida +7, 4th most bet on. And the 5th was Clemson at -3. They lost.
Yeah.
Public getting destroyed in college football betting.
The bloom is off the Dabo.
Right. Tonight, you don't have the guts to just lay the 20.5. We're buying it down to 27.5.
No, I'll lay the 28.5.
Under or over 49.5.
I'm not touching the total, but I would say Ohio
Over.
State -28.5 is the play.
All right, my man. Thanks for stopping by.
It's fun, guys.
All right, we'll come back and we'll continue on the mastery over the in-state opponent. We'll talk about it next. It's the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
There are no accidents to report, just heavy traffic in spots. 315 northbound from 670 to Ackerman Road. Stop and go in spots. Of course, those off-ramps to specifically Ackerman and Lane Avenue are pretty busy. Olentangy River Road is slow between King and Lane. Lane Avenue is very slow between Kenny and High Street. And High Street's pretty busy from 11th to Lane Avenue. Remember, near the stadium, Woody Hayes Drive is closed between Cannon and Tuttle Park. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs. It's time to get what you deserve. Join a team that offers better wages, secure pensions, employee-paid health care, and free training and continuing education. Apprentices, you'll earn while you learn. No student debt, just a solid future. It's more than a job, it's a career. Visit UALocal189.com and take the first step today.
Toyota gives you the power of choice. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on a stylish new 25 Corolla or 5.75 on Corolla Hybrid. Excludes Corolla Cross and GR Corolla. Or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. Can't get enough Ohio State conversation? Good, because the Austin and Berm Show simply can't stop talking about the Buckeyes. Monday through Friday, in season or out of season, The Beat with me and Jeremy Birmingham breaks down every angle with the reigning national champions on 10 TV Plus and on the 97.1 The Fan YouTube channel. Every day is game day with The Beat, and the conversation about the Buckeyes there is always available for fans on demand. Don't miss a single episode.
It's Sunday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Falcons and Vikings live from Minnesota. Fan coverage starts Sunday at 7:30.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Tailgates are better when your ride's rocking. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories upgrades your sound, tints your ride, and adds the extras to make your ride the ultimate game day machine. Come visit the all-new Capital Ford of Columbus today. Home of the 99-cent down car deal. Visit capitalfordofcolumbus.com or call 614-861-7150. That's capitalfordofcolumbus.com or 614-861-7150. 99 cents, $399, $0 down, RCL on 25 My Escape. 10,500 miles per year available for well-qualified buyers. Excludes tax, title, licensing, and documentary service charges. Offer good while dealer supply lasts.
The Waterworks techs have heard it all. Screeching furnaces, dripping pipes, strangled garbage disposals, overflowing toilets. Did a spooky surprise catch you off guard? Who are you going to call?
No, not them. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222. We provide better care, better value, better results, and will take on any drain or heating and cooling nightmare to come your way. Happy Hallow Waterworks.
Score big with Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Sound, style, and upgrades for every ride. Visit us today and kick off this season the right way. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Drive it, show it, rock it.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show, getting you ready for the Buckeye game. Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.
All right, here we are back on campus, inching closer to kickoff. Ohio State and the Ohio Bobcats. And they haven't played any, well, listen, you go all the way back, the Bowling Green game we talked about, early 90s. And what have they won, like 47 in a row over in-state opponents? So the streak is alive and well.
Yep.
And will probably stay that way. I do remember, like, a couple of them that I mentioned earlier to Paul. The one where Josh Harris, you get a Westerville kid, Bowling Green. I thought that was a chance where he kind of had him on the ropes. And you want to talk about any kind of dream scenario. Imagine a kid from a Columbus suburb coming in there and getting that done. But so far, they've been few and far between. We expect the same tonight. But you know what? For a half, you never know. And once a team hangs around, then the confidence starts to go. You guys talked about the backups. Scotty did. You know, if the game turns into a blowout, backups against, you know, that team. It's not only the Ohio State backups are that good. It's then they get to go in against a worn-down underdog that's already played against the starters. It's not like they have depth for days. So it really is a double-edged sword. But this defense against a mobile quarterback, Tim, I'm really looking forward to seeing tonight.
Yeah, because, here's the thing that really jumps out at you about this defense more than anything else. Past the nuances, the tweaks brought in by Matt Patricia, they've got some awareness guys, the best way of putting it, in Caleb Downs, in Sonny Styles, Peyton Pierce when he's in there, Arvell Reese, just sort of a sick'em guy. Just go harass Arch Manning the third, whatever he is. Go harass him. Make his day a tough day, no matter whether they win or lose. They've just got guys that can get after you and are almost as fast as you across the board. I'm talking about your fastest guys Ohio State can match defensively. I'm telling you, I was telling maybe I said this before on here, but I told the 73 team when I talked to them, the Ohio State 73 team, which had that great defense that gave up only, 20 points or something stupid all year long. 10 of them were in the 10-10 tie with Michigan. But it is fun to watch these guys play defense. I tell you what. I mean, it really is, because you got Igbinosun out there just waiting to make a play, and Jermaine Matthews, and then you got Devin Sanchez rising. I'm talking about at the corners, and then you got everybody in between. It's fun to watch them play.
It doesn't take Buckeye fans long to catch on fun things like Laurinaitis. As soon as Laurinaitis had his breakout, you had people out there dressed as his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell you what, it's going to be before long. Maybe we already see it. We're going to see a lot of Buckeye fans with pencils in their hats.
Oh, yeah.
Because Matt Patricia is the real deal. People that question that hire, you can't find them anymore.
All I had
Witness protection.
All I had was a pen to put in my ear, and I thought that was a poor facsimile, so I took it out.
All 4 people watching on YouTube right now, I think, love that.
Yeah. But the bottom line is, there's a lot going on. One of which is, I'm just telling you, this is a special roster, just from the standpoint of how deep it is with great athletes.
And that's after losing 14 draft picks and another guy that made a roster in Josh Meyer who wasn't even drafted. It's crazy to lose that many draft picks, win the national championship, and we're sitting here talking about the depth.
And that's why I don't see Ohio U, and it could come back to bite me in wherever you bite somebody who's wrong, right? But I just don't see Ohio U having a chance because of this Ohio State defense.
The talent is real. It's always been fairly real at Ohio State. They're always going to get the best prospects in the country. Now they're all in with NIL, and it's a machine that keeps on rolling, and the key will be the health and handling a long season. It's no longer just winning your conference and then playing for it all. You go into the playoff. Now maybe this team takes the short route and goes with the bye instead of having to go the long route.
But you would still have to play that extra game, which is the championship game, the Big Ten championship game.
We had this debate. I think Bo Bishop and I had this debate years ago when it went from the BCS to a playoff, and we had this debate about whether it'd be harder or easier to win a national championship at Ohio State. And maybe easier is the wrong word, but
give you a better chance.
I always looked at this when you have as much or better talent than most people in the country. Just give me an at-bat. I don't care if I have to play the extra game or the extra 2 games. I don't want to have to, if I lay an egg 1 week, that I may not be able to show that I have the most talent in the country.
And we've seen that at Ohio State a lot.
Can't win it if you're not in it.
No.
2015 was a tremendous team, a better team in a lot of respects than the 2014 team. Never got the shot because of one big faux pas.
Just like 96,
I was just about to say, go back to talk to the 90s
great
guys.
Team. That reminded me a lot of last year's game against that team up north. Like, that 96 team was awesome. And then they went out, they won the Rose Bowl against Jake Plummer. They would have been national champs. 98's another one. You had that Burke and Plaxico Burress. And you look back on it, they had Nick Saban as the head coach of the Spartans. They had Mark D'Antoni as the defensive coordinator. Maybe not much of a fluke as we thought, but still.
Oh, well, they were down.
Ohio State was up by 24 points or something in that game. Like, they never should have lost it. To your point, though.
24-9 or something like that?
Yeah. Maybe it was 15. You're right, 24-9.
Yeah.
To your point, though, if that 96 team
gets
makes
a second chance.
If a 98 team gets in there, they'd be just like the 24 team.
And to answer your question, because we brought that up on Channel 10 one night on one of the wall-to-wall sports things, they asked me, and I said, no, it is easier to win a national championship now than it used to be because it is easier to get a shot.
That's right.
And then what do you do with your shot?
And when you have as much or more talent than everybody, then and then it takes a lot of buy-in. And in this day and age, we had gone through the opt-outs and all that, and we haven't gotten to the point yet where a school could get in as a 10 or 11 seed and have a first-rounder that now has to question whether he's going to risk it or not.
Right.
We haven't quite gotten there yet.
I think NIL helps with that. Because there's no rule against, like, if a guy is getting X in NIL and he's like, okay, if you want me to stick around for the bowl game, I'm going to need Y. You can do that.
Yeah.
In fact, that has happened. I'm not going to give specific, like, I'm sure Tim knows and you know as well, Anthony. That has already happened, so that will continue to happen. But I think that'll actually help teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can give a guy a little extra money who might be thinking about, I might sit this one out to get ready for the draft. We're like the 12th seeds. Like, how about we give you a little extra money, you stick around, and then get ready for the draft? Yeah. Okay.
It's a fluid situation.
Very
fluid.
But it is one of those things when you have a lot of talent and knowing that you don't have to be perfect, and sometimes not being perfect actually is an advantage, because if you do run, and I'm not saying nobody wants to lose, but you run the table, then you got to run it all the way. Then once you get into one-and-done season, and we saw what happened to Oregon last year, and Ohio State blew their doors off.
Right.
That's an undefeated Oregon team that had to go in there and say, we've never had a loss, and now we can't have a loss if we're going to have the ultimate goal.
Imagine their chagrin, though, when they looked up on December the – when did Ohio State play Tennessee? The 13th, 14th?
28th or something?
No, it wasn't the 28th.
23rd.
Oh, it was right before Christmas.
It was, but the point is,
18th,
imagine Oregon looking up, and their opponent in the Rose Bowl, the quarterfinal game, was Ohio State, a team they beat by 1 point at home, and Ohio State was driving. There had to be a little bit of a big gulp moment.
That's
for them.
right. I remember saying before the season that there are very few teams that would have this moniker to them, but Ohio State was one of those. The last team that you want to see circling back around for a second bite at the apple is probably that team. And a credit to the coaching.
P51 has been refueled.
And the leadership.
And
I don't think I've ever.
Coaching
You're right, the coaching. But the leadership was next level on that team as well.
We got to take a break. But the fact that I just mentioned a name and he pops up.
That's a magic act.
It doesn't even make sense what just happened.
Siegfried and Roy.
Unbelievable.
Siegfried and Roy.
We'll come back with the man, Bo Bishop, and keys to the game right here on the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
You'll see traffic continue to build as you approach Ohio Stadium. 315 northbound from 670 to Lane Avenue is pretty slow in spots. On the southbound side of 315, it is getting crowded between Ackerman Road and Lane Avenue. Those Lane Avenue off-ramps from 315 are also very busy right now. Lane Avenue is pretty packed between High Street and 315. Kenny Road is crowded between Lane Avenue and Kinnear. Olentangy River Road also between Lane and Kinnear, a very busy spot right now. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on the Fan.
Your home, your comfort, your family, that's everything. Big companies shout, big ads scream, but trust is quiet. It's a tech who fixes instead of sells. A family business here since 66. Northland Heating and Cooling, your local Lennox Premier dealer. Honest comfort, real people, real peace of mind. Northland Heating and Cooling.
Still on a high from the win last week? Come to campus on game day and enjoy live music, food, and fun at the 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV tailgate at the O Patio and Pub on Lane. The party starts at 9 and continues on throughout the game. See why over 10,000 people came to party with us last week. Be at the O on Lane this Saturday. Proudly sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Coors Light, Behind the O app, and Jameson Whiskey.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on any new 25 Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Score big this season with an MVP package from Lennox and Northland Heating and Cooling. Call today for your free estimate and special savings on Lennox products or visit HVACnorthland.com. That's Northland Heating and Cooling, your local Lennox Premier dealer.
It's Monday Night Football on the Fan. Catch the Bucs and Texans live from Houston. Fan coverage starts Monday night at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Hey, Buckeye fans, it's Jeff Hogan, and I've got to say thank you. The way Central Ohio has welcomed me back has been amazing. I'm so excited to be back with the team here at 10 TV. These folks are the real deal, and together, we're here to bring you more of the stories that really matter to you and your family. Whether it's breaking news, weather that impacts your day, or just honest conversations, we're here for it all. I'll see you weeknights on 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. And again, it's really good to be back.
Your 10 TV team is stronger than ever. Jeff Hogan, Yolanda Harris, Station Knockin', Jerry Martz. 4 trusted names with a deep connection to Central Ohio. Together, they bring you more heart, more credibility, and more of the stories that matter to you. From breaking news to weather that impacts your day, to real conversations shaping your community. This is your news, your team. Watch weeknights on 10 TV and streaming anytime on 10 TV Plus.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV. No Ohio State fans simply can't get enough coverage of the reigning national champions.
So now there's even more of it on YouTube thanks to the Austin and Berm Show.
Get daily coverage with me, Austin Ward, and my buddy Jeremy Birmingham on The Beat, Snap Judgments, and the weekly live show at Roosters presented by Tansky Power Sports.
Just search on YouTube or anywhere you download podcasts for the Austin and Berm Show.
It's Ohio State football all day, every day.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
I'm Cole Bartimus, and this is my last one of these things. We got a big game underway right now. Number 6, Georgia. They are on the road in Knoxville. Tennessee up 21-14. We got another one that just started recently. South Florida is in Miami. That's 18 versus 5. The 5th-ranked Hurricanes currently have a 7-0 lead and have the ball. Ohio State and Ohio, they're going to take place at 7 o'clock, so we are just 2 hours away from that one. And we got a couple big ones at 7:30. Number 16, Texas A&M on the road in South Bend for number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame was off last week, so this is only their second game of the season. And Florida is at LSU in Baton Rouge. And we had the big upset earlier today. Do not forget, Georgia Tech took down Clemson 24-21.
The only way to get ready for the game. 1, 2, 3. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. It's time for the keys to the game.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, legendary status on the right side of the set tonight. My man, Bo Bishop.
What a treat.
Hanging with us Saturday night, college football, Columbus OH. Doesn't get a whole lot better. You get an in-state foe, my man, to at least give you a little bit of juice. The night game helps a little bit. Do you expect a test tonight, or is this just another speed bump on the way to greatness?
Feels like speed bump, but I was so yearning for a night game, and the boys had never been to a night game before. And I wish this was Texas, obviously. We all do. But I just am excited for them to see that place at night, because I contend that it's the best atmosphere in college football, a night game at Ohio Stadium. We don't get them that much anymore, but I still think it's as good as any place in the country. So I can't wait to get in there. Speed bump, to answer your question.
I feel like we buried the lead a little bit, guys. First time we've mentioned on the show, is Brutus going to get revenge on Rufus today? Bo Bishop.
Well, I'll tell you, Brutus parked right behind me over there and gave a fist bump to young Bootsy, and there was a focus in his eye.
Wow.
Eye of the tiger from Brutus.
So
Anthony Schlegel might be in that costume today.
Well, that might be why he gave him the fist
There you go.
Focus in his eye.
And then he
Focus in his eye.
just
I like
randomly
that part.
tackling people.
Yeah.
What is this, alumni mascot night? Are they bringing both of them back?
Unbelievable.
Given what happened last time, why not? Why are you going to take any chances?
Do we know the real reason why Rufus went off the rails?
Channel 4 did a whole story on it.
Our guy Adam King
went
did
to
too.
Ohio U, exactly.
Yeah.
The guy went to Ohio U with the express purpose of being Rufus when they played Ohio State.
That's a commitment.
It's a long con.
He was Rufus for 1 year. Then he dropped out of Ohio U. Ohio U called him and wanted him back. I guess they didn't know he had dropped out. And he said, sure. And that was the year. And boom.
We're
That's
just
history.
like California penal.
You call it serendipity, coinky dink. What do you call that?
That's
serendipity.
That's a hell of a plan.
But
to have that land.
But it goes down in history as one of the great moments in the Ohio State brief.
It's
series.
also one of the easiest things you could ever do.
Yeah.
Brutus is entertaining 105,000.
Yes.
Rufus is like a ninja.
He's
he
distracted.
can bounce around. No one's even paying attention to him. It's the easiest hit ever. Zip in, zip out, easy.
Oh, that could be Kent State in a few years.
Could be. There you go.
Zip.
There you go.
That's accurate,
Hey,
but okay.
seriously, today.
Vince doesn't skip a beat.
I get those mixed up.
That's accurate.
I get those mixed up.
They're
Sorry.
about the same. Similar colors.
They're about 10 yards.
Same level.
10 miles
level.
apart.
Lower level of the map.
Hey, real quick, the game today that intrigued you the most so far going in was what? And well, obviously Tennessee and Georgia look almost like a push right now. It's 21-14. Alabama smoked Wisconsin again.
It's Texas A&M Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to see Marcus 0-1.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw from C.J. Carr in the opener. I was surprised that they didn't get Love going more in the game against Miami.
They're so physical, Miami.
They really are, bud.
right.
And so I want to see how Marcus responds at night. It's so odd from a scheduling standpoint to go at Miami, bye week, A&M at home. It's just such a strange way to start the season.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of what Marcus is doing, and I'm curious. That's the one, other than ours, that's the one I'm
But
most
Notre Dame can't afford a loss, can it? I mean,
they might be the ones who can't, right? Everybody else, like Clemson today, loses.
Right.
Theoretically, they would still be fine if they were to win their league.
They got to win out.
Yeah.
They beat Florida State down the road, and you're right. But they're probably going to have to win out.
They got to win out, and they got to win the league. But that's the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
That's what it nets you. Otherwise, they're cooked. You're done. I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
And they probably are anyway. They're not very good. But
yeah,
I kind of like A&M tonight, especially point spread. Like 6.5.
I like that same way. I saw it same way.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm curious about A&M's quarterback. I haven't seen enough of him play, and then that atmosphere. You know, we've been there before.
Yeah.
It's going to be rarefied air. I don't care if A&M plays in front of 105,000 every home game.
No.
I mean, this is a different group there, and they will be all against them for the most part because Notre Dame fans don't really give up their tickets.
Well, no, and that's a tough flight, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
From College State to South Bend or College Station.
They got a nice
Where
airport.
are you?
They got a nice airport.
Chicago and drive? I mean, what do you do?
When you get there,
Indy or Chicago? What's
Probably
the
Indy.
closest?
when you
Is
get
it
there,
Indy?
where do you stay? That's the big
It's
question. mark.
easier probably from Indy.
So stay in Indy.
Yeah, you're right.
And just drive back to Indy.
Chicagoland traffic.
Hey,
every little day.
what do you think about Julian saying so far, man? You know, you've seen him.
I think he is.
Let me preface what I said. I think he's gotten off to his cool and composed a start of any quarterback I've covered at Ohio State.
I think he's thrown 40 passes, not one haven't been off target.
Yeah.
I think that he could have taken a lot more in the Texas game. Ryan echoed it post game.
Yep.
I think he's got the quickest release, most accurate. What I tell people before they saw him play, I said he's like if you roll into a towny bar and you see a guy off in the corner playing darts and he just goes,
right.
That's him. Everything's on the money. And he's just
he
out
brought,
so quick.
And he brought his own darts.
He did. Yeah, like has a little brings up the darts.
That's always the tip-off.
And he's so poised. Okay, looking at the other side of the ball, Bo, Matt Patricia, when he was hired, what did you think? And what do you think now?
The hire shocked me, as I think it did a lot of us. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere, right? But I think the one thing about Patricia is, if you think about it, he made his bones in the NFL where everything is to the mean.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, he has the best players.
Right.
So when you have the best players and you have the big brain, look out. And I don't know, even at New England, if he had this type of advantage that he has in that triumvirate with those two linebackers and Caleb, he can do things with those three guys that nobody's going to be prepared for because of their intellect and their athleticism. So it's a little bit of a cheat code.
As long as their recognition stays strong, which it has been so far, the changes he's made are fairly simple for the player.
Yeah.
If you follow my drift.
I do, yeah.
And that's what stands out the most. And like you said, you saw Bill Belichick in North Carolina that first series against who they opened with, TCU.
Yeah.
Lined up exactly the same way Ohio State did on the first series against Texas.
Right.
And had some success the first series.
That's right.
But they didn't have the Jimmies and the Joes.
No, they don't have Caleb Downs.
Right. So that's the difference. You still gotta have the Jimmies and the Joes.
Oh, wait a second. My guys are way better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
And
I can work with
and
this.
And he's in his perfect lane, isn't he, Matt Patricia? I think he came in with just the head coach resume and that failure. People forgot. He didn't forget how to coach defense. You put him right back in his lane, you know?
Yes.
It's like, it'd be like you and I get on the radio every day and we talk about every sport, right? 5, 6, 7 different sports. Take your favorite sport, the one you love the most, and say, now go talk about that for 3 hours every day. You'd probably be pretty good at it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of where he is.
Great analogy.
Yeah. And not only that, the thing that stands out to me about him is he, in the NFL, like we talked about, you are so big on the matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, you are so big on, everybody does that, but in the NFL, that's your living.
The whole job.
And finding the weak point, finding where you can attack their offensive line the best, what gap, what person you can attack the best. Arvell Reese, he just sicked him on Arch Manning. Sicked him on him.
Yep.
And Arch Manning didn't really know what to do about it.
No.
And neither did Texas. And that's what stood out. And last week, they didn't do anything crazy. Tonight, they may play a few games with Parker Navarro because you want to take him off his game, but we'll see where he gets.
You know what really struck me? We were at the open practices, and the bounce in his step to be in a collegiate atmosphere. And his wife and kids walked over, and it was like there's just something. I know that this has all changed, but at the root of it, there's still something pretty pure about college football, right?
Yeah.
You hear the bands and all of this, and it was like he'd never experienced it before.
Yeah. And you know where else?
Now he has, and it's man, this is pretty cool.
Mark Pantoni talked to me about this too. When the revenue sharing aspect of things now is literally everybody has a salary, of some sort. And Matt Patricia, who's been an NFL head coach and GM, GM type, helped them sort through that.
Yeah.
Deal with who is worth what and why.
Right.
And because you have to explain that to parents, players, etc. And he's brought value in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, really impressive.
All right, my man. I know Special K's ringing the victory bell tonight. If it wasn't him, I think you're in the bullpen.
No,
if he doesn't show up, maybe.
Dude, 2037. 2037.
Perfect.
I'm on it.
All
I
right.
got it. It's gonna. I'll tell you, when you do these things, and I can speak from the Browns' perspective because they did this too. They got the guitar smashing.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got a long, deep bench.
That's right.
Because pretty quick you're gonna be like, hey, who do we got? Wait, who do we got? We got Minnesota coming here. Do we got a guy?
Yeah.
That's how I end up doing it.
Ohio State has a long, deep bench.
Yeah.
But they need it. It's got to be like 10. You got 8 games a year.
It's probably too long.
Playoff games, you got to.
I swear.
They might have to run the batting order again.
Run it through.
They already went with Cooper once.
The TV and Cooper.
He comes back on the bat again.
I'm surprised that wasn't Tressel before Cooper.
Arch like every 9 games, Arch.
He's busier.
But I see Cooper pull the rope, and all of them yelling in the press box is, let go of the rope.
Let go of the rope.
Pull you into the belfry.
Oh, yeah. It's like raising that piano to the top floor. When that line goes.
It goes.
Run. All right, my man. Great seeing you. Always good to see you.
Such
Bo
a pleasure,
Bishop with
boys.
us
Be well.
On the set here tonight. Keys to the Game were sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And we'll come back with a final check-in with the voice of the Buckeyes here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
It's a busy time on the roadways around Ohio Stadium right now. 315 north and southbound, seeing a lot of action around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits particularly. Lane Avenue is bumper to bumper from Kenny to High Street. Olentangy River Road has a crowd between King and Lane. High Street is busy from 11th to Lane. And when you're near the stadium, remember Woody Hayes Drive is closed between Cannon and Tuttle Park. With Game Day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward. The live show is back at Roosters, and now it's kicking into overdrive thanks to Tansky Power Sports.
Check out the latest Ohio State breakdowns with me, Berm, and a couple former Buckeyes every Monday on the 97.1 The Fan YouTube channel and 10 TV Plus.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, They can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. And if you're gearing up for the big game, don't forget the MVP of desserts, Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. This legendary treat just made its way to Ohio. Finally! We're talking rich devil's food cake, buttery cream bumps, and a fudge icing that is just unfair. They'd throw a flag on it if it was actually on the field. Bring one to your next tailgate, watch party, or even a team celebration, and you'll be the real hero. Available now at Kroger and Meijer, Sanders Bumpy Cake. It's game day greatness.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward. The live show is back at Roosters, and now it's kicking into overdrive thanks to Tansky Power Sports.
Check out the latest Ohio State breakdowns with me, Berm, and a couple former Buckeyes every Monday on the 97.1 The Fan YouTube channel and 10 TV Plus.
Remember when sports used to be about calling up your favorite host and saying how stupid they are? Good news. We still do that. The Fan Call-In Show.
Hello. Sponsored by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino.
Sunday mornings at 8 on The Fan.
Football season is here, and so is tailgating season. Are you ready? If not, let Columbus Car Audio and Accessories help you get the latest and best accessories for your ride. Upgrade your sound system so everyone around can hear what team you're rooting for. Add mobile video and never miss a game on the road. Add style and privacy with window tint, and avoid scraping ice this winter by adding a remote starter. Choose Columbus Car Audio and Accessories when it comes to customizing your ride. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or ColumbusCarAudio.com. Come visit the all-new Capital Ford of Columbus today, home of the 99-cent down car deal. Visit CapitalFordOfColumbus.com or call 614-861-7150. That's CapitalFordOfColumbus.com or 614-861-7150. 99 cents, $399, $0 down, RCL on 25 My Escape. 10,500 miles per year available for well-qualified buyers. Excludes tax, title, licensing, and documentary service charges. Offer good while dealer supply lasts. Still on a high from the win last week? Come to campus on game day and enjoy live music, food, and fun at the 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV tailgate at the O Patio and Pub on Lane. The party starts at 9 and continues on throughout the game. See why over 10,000 people came to party with us last week. Be at the O on Lane this Saturday. Proudly sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Coors Light, Behind the O app, and Jameson Whiskey.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the big game tonight, we're falling into the 70s with a partly cloudy sky, and that partly cloudy sky sticks with us overnight as temperatures dip into the low 60s for Sunday morning. By the afternoon, plenty of sunshine will bring us into the upper 80s, and the upper 80s are expected again on Monday with a mostly sunny sky. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan. The sausages are sizzling. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show. Proud to be the flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
All right, inching closer. Nice crowd tonight. Fan Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Full of Buckeyes and Bobcats. Paul Keels' final check-in. Sponsored by Byers Imports. Byers Imports, Hamilton Road by the airport. Paul, what's coming up?
Well, coming up, Anthony, as always, we'll hear from both head coaches, Ryan Day from Ohio State and Ohio University's Brian Smith. Tyler Danberg will talk with Matt Patricia about what the defense has done so far. Doug Ute, the executive director of the OHSAA, will talk with us about how girls flag football is now a sanctioned sport in the state of Ohio. We'll talk with the voice of the Ohio Bobcats, Marty Bannister, about what their first two games of the season have been like. Skip Mossick will talk with Dr. Kimron Rathmel about all of the effort pointed to it being a cancer-free world. And as always, we we will have our award-winning, world-famous mascot mischief 3-game homestand, Halloween in Athens. I know Carita. What we have here is a failure to communicate version of Buckeye Flashback with Skip Mossig. That's coming up shortly.
Beautiful, my man. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome. Thank you.
He did mention the mascot mania. And it is honestly one of the great stories. I still don't have the exact detail, though. Tim, you'll have to maybe both you guys can tell me. What was the exact reason, though?
He wanted to take out Brutus Buckeye.
He just hated Ohio State.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally.
And he fit the suit.
Yeah. I don't want to use a term right now, which is not real cool these days. But he definitely wanted to take out Brutus Buckeye.
He did.
And do a little harm along the way, and he admitted it, which is what was cool. But the funniest thing about the whole thing is he had dropped out of school, and they called him back.
And he just went to Ohio.
They brought him up from AA.
Jeez, was he at Hawking College by then? They brought him back?
Yeah.
Goodness.
I think he was living down by the river in a van.
In a van down the river.
Steady diet of government cheese.
Nice job.
So we've talked a lot about this defense tonight. Ohio State's, they've allowed less than 30% on third downs in their first 2 games. And I know it's kind of like a game and then a walkover. So I don't want to put a lot of stock in the Grambling game because you don't have to. It's just
Here's
not
what you
a
put
benchmark.
stock in. I don't mean to interrupt you. You put stock in the fact they got up on Texas and then held on and won the game. I mean, that is an incredibly talented football team. The next one was a well-deserved respite.
Yeah.
And it was a practice. I mean, the thing about Julian Sayin going 16 out of 16 to start the game, which was an Ohio State record for the start of a game, you can't do that in practice usually. And that's what was remarkable. So the quarterback the next week was on point, and so was the offense.
It just shows when you give this kid time.
Right.
He can pick you apart. He's done. Now, second and goal at the 5, I don't need a throw from the left hash mark to the right pylon. That's probably not a throw, even if you're on target, you want to make because it's too much air travel. It's too easy to
He got a little too confident
but
there, didn't he?
That's the one that you don't need because when you're Ohio State, second and goal at the 5, you can call anything. You don't need that play. However, none of that's going to cost you against Grambling, which is great. I agree exactly what you're saying. I'm almost thrilled they didn't, not that they would have blasted Texas, but that you get so much more out of it that you had a goal line stand.
Yeah.
And then your defense had to show up at the end. And you had Carnell Tate making a circus grab in that game for a touchdown that mattered. So a lot of things they have to lean on right now. And the beautiful thing is, I asked that question, how do you handle success? It's hard to answer that when you're playing Grambling the next week. The backup certainly handled success the right way because those guys are itching to get in. And you can only judge if you think you can be perfect against a team, then that's how you should judge it.
Right.
And I think Ryan Day talked about that this week.
Right.
If I get a corner blitzing and a free run at a quarterback and he whiffs, that's not a good thing. If I let up a 20-yard run that Grambling had on the left side, not a good thing. We got to find out why that happened. It's not to nitpick. It's just you're judging it the way you have to judge it.
Like Bo Jackson late. They're chewing him out because he dropped the ball and went out of bounds. Bo Jackson looked great. All the fans are like, Bo Jackson's great. What's Coach Laughlin doing? He's chewing him out. Then he tapped him on the head, tough love like they say. But last week's game to me was perfect for Ohio State because, first of all, no injuries. You get the starters' confidence and Julian Sayin and the others. And then the young guys came in there and showed out. Riley Pettijohn, et al., Bo Jackson.
Right.
Last week's game was perfect for Ohio State. You'd hate to leave a game like that and suffer even one serious injury.
Right, and the thing about it is you saw some Nick Saban in Ryan Day last week because obviously late in the game they get out there near the goal line and have an illegal formation, which cost them, at that point, a score. I think it was Quincy Porter and somebody else on the left side both lined up. One of them lined up wrong, and Ryan Day really let them know that that's not to be tolerated. So there are all kinds of coaching points you can make through a game that you treat it like a practice when things are going extremely well and you expect perfection. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you are or not on the field.
It's 35-0 at a half, and then you get a defensive score in the second half. It's great stuff. You get Caden McDonald with the great tackle strip. You get Pettijohn with the scoop. You get all of that, and then you get what we saw with the backups: Mylan Graham, the shiftiness; Isaiah West with the cutback speed. You guys mentioned Bo Jackson. He's got some game-breaking ability. So
he looks really good, man.
Grambling I think Grambling wanted to run a play at the end, and they screwed that up.
Yeah.
Like at the very end, mercifully, like the clock ran out on them. But they still wanted to run a play.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had to treat it the same way, man.
Yeah.
They weren't going to – their coach said it going in, Mickey Joseph, they weren't going to almost said we're not going to win this game, but what can you get out of it?
Yeah.
You get out of it effort to the end, and even Ryan Day praised them for that.
Well, tonight should be fun for Ohio State to put the hammer down and go into their bye week feeling really good about themselves. I think Washington actually has to play Washington State next week.
That's interesting.
So they have a little rivalry going.
Yeah,
the week
and they got to fire their gun a little bit in that game too, which is good for Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, this is a game that's fun because you got a lot of in-state emotion going on. Certainly, there's some green amongst the scarlet and gray here tonight, and it should be beautiful weather. Should be a fun game tonight. 28.5. We talked about the spread, and I keep kind of inching my score up a little bit. Like on Friday, I picked it. I know we'll pick it here in a minute here, 41-13, but I think I'm going to up it a little bit, boys. I think I'm going to get to 49.
I'm going to get in that range too because, and here's the thing. See, when you go to pick like last week, how soon were the backups going to get in there, and were they going to be effective defensively, which kind of can skew things. So yeah, I'm with you. You want to go ahead and start?
Give me a pick.
I got 45-7 Ohio State.
Yeah.
45-7.
All right, I'm going to go 45-6 because I don't want to pick exactly your score.
We have the exact same score.
49-13.
There are going to be some big plays in this game.
Great minds in us too, right?
Yeah. All right, boys, enjoy the game. Buckeye Nation, have fun. Lock it in right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
No accidents or major delays to report, just heavy traffic volumes. Northbound 315 from 670 to Ackerman Road. That's a really busy spot right now. On the southbound side of 315, it's busy between Ackerman and Lane. Lane Avenue is very crowded between Kenny Road and High Street. High Street is busy from 11th to Lane, and Ackerman Road has a bit of a crowd between 315 and Kenny Road. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Hi, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Coming up, more football talk on The Fan.
That's right, Bob. And just like our hometown team, Worthington Jewelers is all about tradition, family, and winning moments.
Celebrate your victories with us, your hometown jeweler, Worthington Jewelers.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, bathtub too, the sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you. Plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs. It's time to get what you deserve. Join a team that offers better wages, secure pensions, employee-paid health care, and free training and continuing education. Apprentices? You'll earn while you learn. No student debt, just a solid future. It's more than a job, it's a career. Visit UALocal189.com and take the first step today.
Hey, Buckeye fans, it's Jeff Hogan, and I've got to say thank you. The way Central Ohio has welcomed me back has been amazing. I'm so excited to be back with the team here at 10 TV. These folks are the real deal, and together, we're here to bring you more of the stories that really matter to you and your family. Whether it's breaking news, weather that impacts your day, or just honest conversations, we're here for it all. I'll see you weeknights on 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. And again, it's really good to be back.
Your 10 TV team is stronger than ever. Jeff Hogan, Yolanda Harris, Station Knockin', Jerry Martz. 4 trusted names with a deep connection to Central Ohio. Together, they bring you more heart, more credibility, and more of the stories that matter to you. From breaking news to weather that impacts your day, to real conversations shaping your community. This is your news, your team. Watch weeknights on 10 TV and streaming anytime on 10 TV Plus.
We're back to football talk, but before we kick off, a quick thanks to Bob and the team at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Whether it's game day or every day, we're here to help you celebrate life's biggest moments.
Worthington Jewelers, your hometown jeweler.
What he said.